welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to create your own custom drop-down. So, without further ado, let's get started. In this drop-down, I'm going to be doing country drop-down. And here is the country list. The country all over the world. This list is gotten from GitHub. And this was created by Alright, without further ado, let's get started.
Here we have in the component, the app component, we have empty div, empty container. And if you go to the browser, you can see we have the empty. So let's create all what we need. Div, let's create a div. Let's call it, let's give it a class of drop down. Then inside this drop down wrapper. Okay. Then here we have option or select. So inside the select, we're going to be having span. And that's why we say choose your country. Then the other span is going to be the drop down icon. So you can download that online. But I'm going to be using the greater than sign. Can you see this greater than sign? Good. Okay, let's start this first. Wait, okay, border. Is a solid. Red. Good. Width. We want to use 20 rem. Margin. I want to centralize it. Margin top, let's say 16 rem, and also good. Then padding 1 rem. 1 rem is okay. Good. So let's check the other one too. Select. Space between. Height or padding 0.5 rem. Good. Okay, everything is looking good. So let's equal it to this. Let's call this drop down icon. Transform. Rotate 90 degree.
Good. Alright, select align item center. Okay, I think we can remove this border now. Good. Alright, let's create option. Options. Okay, div. Then we call this option. Class name options. Then inside this options, let's create a temp dump data for option. So this option is going to have the country name. So let's use span as well. Country name, class, country name, then country logo, the span, class country, let's see, okay, die number, let's call it die number, or do we need that? Okay, yeah, let's use country and die number.
Country die number, or type code. So let's just put a dummy value first. Good. So let's add the same style to this option that we put for select. Good, we have similar thing now. I don't know why space between is not working on this. So let's create his own property on it. Okay, yeah. So let's create a new property for it. For the option, don't forget option is like the option, let's say option wrapper. Option wrapper. Good. So here we say border 1 pixel solid and red. So let's give it a height. Height of let's say 16 rem. Let's say I think it's okay. Yeah. Then overflow. Scroll. Good. Padding. Do we need padding? Padding 0.5 rem. 0.75. Okay. It's good. Alright, so having done that, let's equally height size to the option as well. So let's follow. Let's use the same. Okay. Let's see what we can get out of this. Good. Then padding 1 rem. Seems big. 0.75. Okay, 0.75 is okay. Then display flex, so that this can be applied. This particular properties, these two properties can be applicable to it. Good. Alright, no, it's not center. It should be space between. Space between. Good. So country and country code. Cursor should be pointer clickable. Yes. Then equally this should be clickable. Let's see. That should be select. Should be clickable. Yes. So what else? So if I double this now, so let's extract this. Let's make a component for it called dropdown option. Dropdown options.js. So RSC. So we have it now. Let's drop it in here. Good. So what we're going to do, we're going to call it here dropdown option. So now, can you see? So we can replicate this. Let's see. If I repeat this now, we have. Can you see it now? So let's make sure that we have hidden value. Okay. So now we can scroll down. Can you see? We can scroll down. So let's leave it that way. And also let's give a gap in between them. So to add a gap to it, we go to the wrapper dropdown option wrapper. So it's a gap. So for us to use gap, we need to set the display to flex and flex direction to the column. Then from column we have gap. Gap is going to be 0.5 rem. And that's okay. Good. So can you see it now? So we have that. Alright. And before then as well, I would like to add this to it. Let's go to the major dropdown major. So let's put border radius 0.5 rem. Let's see what will happen. Good. So now, having gotten this, what we're going to do is going to be a dynamic value. We're going to be getting that from the country list of country that we've gotten. But before then, let's make sure that this is working fine first. So we're going to be adding Javascript to it, that when I click on it, it shows. So let's see that. Before then, let's set the value of the container dot container background color so that we can see it neatly. Background color black. Height 108. Okay, now let's remove all these outline. But before then, let's add if you like, you can set okay. I think at the initial stage we don't want to show the drop down. We want the drop down to show immediately we click on the. So we're going to set this to none. So can you see? So when you click on this, we want it to come up. So let's do that now. Let's say dot show drop down. Shows drop down. That will be the property display flex. So let's go in here. So when we click on select, yes, when we click on select, we want that to happen. So we're going to add event listeners to this. So let's say handle show drop down. So that's it. Undo shows dropdown. We're going to create the function here. I'll be using arrow function. Then we need a state to undo the boolean value. So the state is going to be import use state. So let's initiate it here. Show is show. Set is show equals to use state. Use state false.
False. So let's do that here. Let's go back here. This property now, I will add this to this. Then the display, the show, okay, the display is going to be flex. Y here is going to be none. Okay, so it will help us to toggle that. So we have wrapper. This is the wrapper. Let's cut it off and wrap it with its show. So when its show is true, then we can now show this. So however, you can see now it's not coming up. But if I change this value to true, let's see what will happen. True. Nothing actually happened. So this is all right. Now that we have set false, so what we do is to this class, we are going to be alternating it by the value of we supply. So this is options wrapper. Let me see if it is option wrapper. We are okay, option wrapper. So we are going to be asking is show. If it is show, therefore it's going to be this value. If it is true, it's going to be show dropdown class. Else it's going to be option class, this one. So let's look at it. So we have this one to be false. Let's go. Can you see? But if it is true, let's change these values to true. Can you see it now? It comes up. Once it changes to what? Once you change this to false, it goes up. So that's what we want to do now. So meanwhile, we have set a event list now already on this select that houses choose your country. So what we do is, let's see if it is properly linked. Let's print something else. Let's say alert show. Let's just choose that. When I click on this button, it should display good. So this button is going to be what that will help us to set the value to true. So let's see. Can you see? Once I click on it again, can you see? It drops down. So we don't want to close it again when we click on this, or should we? Okay, once we click on this, it shows. Once we select the country, it should close. That's what we want to do now. When we click on the country, it should close. When we choose the country, okay, or if you want this to be, I think it's proper that we close it with the table. All right, so when I click on this, I want this triangle up to rotate to the up. So to do that, also don't forget we use icon. Yeah, this icon. So now first and foremost, let's check the angle we need to rotate this to. Good. So it's going to be 270. So let's say
270 degree. Why we still have 90 degrees? So I'm going to be changing this to icon up, icon down. So let's go back here. for it to go up and down, the value still depends on the value of is show or not. So if it's show, the class goes up. It's going to be arrow up, not down, up. Then if not, down. Let's go back again and see, can you see up? So let's try and do something. Instead of putting through, let's just do something like this. Later we'll change it. Can you see now? If I click, can you see? When I click on it, it comes out, it opens, it goes, it opens, it goes. So now good. Having done that, but we don't want that behavior. We want it to close
until you select the country. Okay. All right, let's change this to true. Just true when you click. So true when I click on it. This is false. So let's refresh. When I click, we can't do that. That's why I'm refreshing. So now what next? What then is that the user, when the user click on the options, any option here, it should display the value here. Okay, so let's remove this dummy data. Let's just leave only one. We are going to make it dynamic, so let's leave only one. So when I click on this value should be captured on here. Okay, so let's go. Let's see that in action. Let's see that in action. So we have to do that, we add event listeners to this. So let's do that. Let's say option chosen. We need a class, we need a variable to hold. Rather, the variable will say option chosen, comma, set option chosen. So set option chosen is empty by default. Then let's set event listener, that we're going to pass to this component. Let's say undo option selection is equals to undo option selection. So let's set it in here. Cost undo stays equals to so let's pass an event E, which will enable us to get access to the object of that, to the property of that object. This is an object. Okay, so let's open this up. So here we destructured the array. We have destructured the property, the props property. Don't forget, this name must be the same with this key here. Okay, so let's go. Now, having gotten this, we're going to be setting the on click. Yes, so this on click will be listening to the event of clicking this particular option. Okay, let's go back again and see what will happen. Let's add something to let's put alert. Or instead of using alert, let's use console log. So let's open our DevTools. Once I click on this, can you see it now? So it brings the E, that click event, enable us to have access to this target, and that target has these children. Okay, so now we want to capture the country name to be displayed on here. So we might capture the country name or the country code, but however, we're interested in capturing the country name. So let's see how we can access that. Note, this is like an array. the element inside this option. So we are taking the first child. So the first child can be accessed by using something of this nature. So let's state, oh, doesn't work. Let's say children. So can you see now the children were able to have access to the children 1, children 2. So now you can see how it's indexing it 0 and 1. So let's check the first one, which is 0. Let's click and see. Good. So we're able to have access to the first child inside the option container. So we want to capture this name. Okay, so what we do is dot test content. We want to get the test content. So test content is the country name. Can you see? So any country name going to be, so e.g., let's say this is a country now. Let's create a country. Let's create a country now for ourselves. Let's create sparse country, sparse city, spa. So if probably, let's assume this is a country, you click on it, it shows the name of the country. Okay, so however, when a user select this, instead of it displaying on our console, we want to display it here. So how to do that now is what we want to do. So let's close this back. So we have gotten this already. So what we're going to do, let's create a variable that will hold that for us. So cost selected country is equals to this. All right, so we want it to display in here. To do that, let's target the name of this. Okay, sorry, instead of giving a variable, we have already set it already here. So we set option chosen. So set option chosen is going to wrap, is a function that enables us to change the state, the value of the state. Okay, so now let's log it out. Let's log it on the console and see what we have. Let's say option. Can you see option? So let's go back to the console and open that. So if I click on this now and click on this, can you see it's print it out, it changed the state of that component. So let's remove this side effect. Okay, good now, nice. So here we are going to set this to be the value that will be displayed in here. Okay, so what we do, we're going to be using conditional rendering. This will show if and only if else this will show, that's option chosen will show. So the condition we are going to be adding is what? Is to check if, okay, don't forget the name of the state is what? Let's go back, is option chosen. So we're going to be using that here, ternary operator rather. So we are asking question, if option chosen, then do this. However, this is giving an error because we are going to wrap it inside a fragment, because React understands single elements. So we wrap it inside that fragment, then it takes it as one argument. So now let me do this, make the code neat. All right, okay, I think good now. So the condition is, okay, check if this is empty, that is it's empty like we have here. So display show this, else show the option itself, the option chosen. So let's go back and see that. Can you see? So if I select now, let me see something. Let me see what is going on. I say text content. Cannot read the property of text content. Cannot read the property of text content. Sorry, let me see what is going on here. This part of it, debugging. Let's put question. This might solve the issues. So option chosen, we set the option chosen. They haven't set the option chosen. Okay, so if it is true, if there is something here, this one is string is will return empty value. So it's supposed to be this before this one. So it's only the false that will give us that is okay. Let's do it this way. If it is false, that is when it is empty string. When it is empty string, it will return false, meaning this is going to be true. Then it print out this. Else it prints out the value selected. So let's look at it. Can you see it now? Let's refresh. Let's do it again. Can you see? Let's refresh. Let's do that again. Can you see it now? Let's refresh. Let's do it again. Can you see? Good. But then let me check something. I want to check. Okay, from this place, the country name I've not styled. Let me style it and see what is going on there. Country name and the code, right? So let's do that. Let me see.
Country code. So let's say border solid. I just want to see the space is occupying. Good. And the other one, that's, let's see, it's called die code. Die code. Die code. Dot die code. So border one pixel solid red. Good. We now have those two of them. So good. Now what we want to do now is yeah, I think it's cool now. It's cool. It's cool. So let's set the background for this drop down option. Should it be this or the major one? Okay, let's set background color for the container, options container, option wrapper. The one that shows option wrapper. So background color, let's set it to be EEE. Let's give it some opacity. Good, I think it's fair enough. So option, so the option, let's give it white background. Background white. Okay, so let's remove this. And let's remove the outline. We can remove this. Let's remove them. Good. But let's make it. Let's add like box shadow. Let's say 2 pixel, 16 pixel, and let's say the value point 25. That's opacity. So it's like, since it is white, let's change this color. Let's see another color we can add. Black. Can you see how thick that can be? Alright, let's reduce the opacity. But let's equally change the gray color. At least we can see that it's like it's like a 3D element now. Good. So let's increase it again. Alright. So we can equally do something like the edge if we want. Okay? But however, let's continue with our tutorial. So the gap, we have the gap in between them. So let's double it again. Let's see how it's going to look like. Can you see? So let's assume we have country A, country B, O. Alright, we can do it now. So if I click on this, it shows that. Let's refresh again and click. I click, it's selected that. So to scroll down now, you click on the. Okay, we don't have a overlay yet. There are not many. So if there are many, let's see how it's going to look like. Okay. Good. 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 Alright. So what I want us to do now is to still maintain that toggle to close. We can use this to close or this other one to close. Let's see how we can manage to do that. Let's see if we can do that. So to actually do that, it's easy. We can actually do it. So what we do is to just move this. Instead of putting it here, let's move it here. So we have question that if option chosen is not, shows this. Else show option chosen. So we're going to be removing this again. So we don't need that again. Neither this. So we want to manage that. So this is a string. So put it in, wrap it in a string. So let's go back again and see. We have error. What's the error? Unterminated regular. Let's see. From where? Okay. We have to close this. Yes, we have to close that. Yeah, cool. Can you now see it now? So if I click on it, if I select the country, what changes is just this and this reverse. So we want to use this to close up the options, okay? So let's do that. To do that, we're going to be setting a property, a listening property. So here, close. I'll say undo, close, drop down. So this one will undo that. Undo. So it will listen to event click. Then once event is initiated, once the user click on it, it will close it up. Alright, let's say pause again, undo, close. Yeah, let's use that. So what we do is what? Guess what? Show.
Very simple. Show. Set shows to false. So let's see that. Click on this. Can you see that? If I click on this for now, all right. So it's something is going on here. So let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be moving this show events inside this other one, the span that is housing the name. Can you see this is one span, this is another span for the name of the country and the choose option. Can you see? So this one, so I'm going to be putting the event in here, so it's better that way. So the event is here. This one will be able to work because the one where we put it already, we put it inside their container, so it override this function. That's why. So here now you can click on this, you can click on this, but before then let me do something also. I want to see something working here, so let me add a class to this as well. Let me call it class name. Should I call what? How do I call it? Display. Let me just call it display option chosen. Display option chosen. So yeah, I just want to check something. So display option chosen dot, that's it. So one pixel, solid and red. Let's see. Good. I want it to take the at least 90% of this. So it's going to be flex 1. Good. Then why this one we just take, let me see what I can do for that one. So I think we call it icon. So this icon, so let's use a general one and let me call dot icon width is, let's say 3 rem, height 23 pixel and 23 pixel. Let's see. So it's not actually showing anything yet. Okay, let's see it. We've not added it up to rate, so let's add it here. So this is the class. We have this class already. So this one is going to be here, icon. So either of these I will still be adding to this, but this one is general to them, irrespective of the true or false value we are checking for. So let me see, is the icon, I call it icon. So icon, it's not coming up yet. Let me see. You can see it actually comes up. So let me see why it's not coming. So yeah, it works. All right, so we want it to actually take the same height with the parent. So let's go to the parent. Instead of giving it padding, we're going to be removing that padding. Where's parent? I think that's the parent. Good. So that's the parent. Select. So we're going to be adding that padding in there inside the children themselves. So this one will take the padding. Instead of padding, I'm going to be saying height 100% of the parent. 100% of the parent. Then padding should be 0.75 rem. Yes, 0.75 rem. Then the other one, the other option, that's display select. Okay, it's going to take height 100% of the parent as well. 100% of the parent. Okay, that's okay. Let me change this from being spanned to div. Good. So 100% of the parent, padding 0.75 rem. Good. So let me remove 100% of the parent. Yeah. So now this I can equally set it to be at the center if we choose to. So but let it be that. Now let's reset this value. I don't know why it's going out of the range. That should be for the icon. Let's go icon. Icon. Let me remove this. So icon will take width 23 pixel. Let's see. So let's remove the gap in between them as well. I don't know if I set a gap for it. No gap. Space between. Okay, let me remove the space between them. Good. So let's set this to be 1 rem. Let's see what will happen. 1 rem is too small. 3 rem. 3 rem. Let's see something. Something is not. We are not getting something right here. Icon. Okay. 3 rem. Let me say padding 0.75 rem. Good. And the drop down is this red padding. Then let's say width of this should be fixed content. Let me see. All right, now let's see this. Why this is going outside the box. All right, what I will do is, let's come down here. So in here, I'm going to say flex is equals to 1. Let me remove this and see. Good. All right, now there's something. This is given already. All right, let's see. All right, height. Padding 1 rem for the height and bottom. So height 100%. Width 3 rem. Padding 1 rem. So gap, let me set gap between 0.5 rem. So we have gap between now. What I will do now is to reduce this, the width 0.75 rem. Okay, let's set a fixed value then for both of them. Let me bring them close to each other. So if the main parent is 1620 rem, therefore this, the weight of this one is going to be 16 rem. Let's see, 16 rem, and the width of this is going to be 4 rem. However, so let's reduce that as 12 and 6. Let's set the parent. Let me see. So instead of this, let me set fixed content. Good. So if that is the case, now let's say flex 4 for the icon, flex 1. Why this? Let me check something. Oh yes, I guess, sorry, we should have. Okay, so since we rotate it, we rotate the icon, that's why it's doing like that. So what we're going to do now, follow me closely. Yes, so I'm going to be using height as 3 rem. So good. Then this is going to take 1. Now this, let's say the width should be I've removed 3 out of 20, so 17 rem. 17 rem. Good. Then let's look at the select again. Select gap. Do we have gap in between them? Let's remove the gap. We have removed the gap. Let's say fit content as well for the appearance. So the width 100%. So, wait, we need to do something here. Let's go up. Let's put it under the appearance, and while we remove this one, we'll comment it out. So good. Now we'll be able to have control over this. So we have the width. If this is 70, let me 17, then this should be, width of this one should be 3 rem. Good. Then the height 100%. The height should be 100%, but let's say 3 rem. Okay. The height of this should be 3 rem as well. Good. Good. So good. So let's set this now. The icon should be display, flex, align, center, justify, center. Good. So let's change this from being at the left hand or right hand side to the down and bottom. So let's uncomment this. Good. So when I click on this, it goes up, and when I click on it back, why is it pushing it in? Okay, this is what we should do. I think this is what's happening. So instead of doing this, let's just add it to both of the options we have here. You should maintain its value. Yeah, it's good. Good, 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 good. All right, good. Now let's see something again. Let's set this transition also. Transition. Let's see if we can add some flex to that. So let's say 3 seconds, 1 seconds, easy in and out. when we click on this, okay, it has to be for both of them. Oh, okay, the name is not complete. It has to be for both of them. Can you see? We can only see it because of the border we put around it. So if I remove that border, you won't see it run. Can you see now? Let's remove that. Can you see? Only see that it moves. Good. All right. I think we have done with that. Let's equally remove this. Okay, so close it. Close it. All right, let's remove this also from the select. Good. And equally, let's remove this. So I think we should take 100 the width. Should we take the whole angle? Depending on your choice, actually. Let's leave it depending on your choice. So let's assume that we have it now. Let's remove this border as well from options wrapper. Option wrapper. So we have other, okay, option wrapper and drop down. Good. So now let's, okay, this drop down, show drop down, we can equally add, we can add transitions to it so that it won't be transition of display 1 seconds easy in and out. So let's see what will happen. Good. So the next thing we want to do now is I think we are done. So that is okay. The next thing we want to do, we want to make this dynamic using what the value we got from GitHub. So the country, all the countries in the world. So let's remove this also. Or probably you might want to use it, but you don't want to use red. You can actually do something of this nature too. Yes. Or probably you can still add maybe border shadow 2 pixel, 2 pixel, 8 pixel. Let's see what that gives to us. Can you see? So we don't want that thick black. 0.5. Yep. Okay, we can still adjust it from here. Let's adjust it from there. So good, we have that looking beautiful drop down. Can you see? We have a wonderful drop down there. All right, what we do now is to make this dynamic, the value to be dynamic. Okay, all right. So to do that, we use let's say wait, even if I do this, it will make sense to show is show. So meaning I can still use this, can use this, can use this, I can bring my cursor around here. Good. So let's make dynamic now. So to make it dynamic, we're going to be fetching data. Let's remove this one. Good, we only have one option left. So to make it dynamic, don't forget we have this here. So let's fetch it. I'm exporting the countries. So in here, I'm going to be fetching all the country inside the app, inside app.js. So to do that is actually a side effect. So to handle side effect, we use effect. Okay, so I prefer to put it after this all the control. So use effect. So you just fetch it once. So we have the callback and the dependency. So if you are not supplying anything, you only put curly bracket, which is like a list. It will only run it or get the data once, and it won't repeat itself. So having gotten this now, we have gotten this. Probably we might not need this. Let's just set a state variable called countries. Then we say set countries, or might not even need to set the countries. We'll use it in here. We'll do everything in here. So let's import the countries. Can you see we have imported it? So the initial value of this country here is going to be country. So just supply it country. That's all you need to do. So now for us to use this, we export it. Then from exporting, we come to the component I want to use it. We use what? Import. Then this country is the name of the variable here. Okay, is this name of the variable. If I change this to something else, it's going to be what I'm going to be using. So the countries is the name here. Then why this part is the name of the file. Okay, good. So then we initiate a state called countries. So this country is peculiar to this component. Why this one is one we are getting from what we are importing. It's the one we are importing, the real value. So we are initiating or assigning a values to this state as the creation. So now we want it to populate this options. So to do that, we are going to be using a map function. So list dot map option. So a country, you can say country or item or country, and we know the structure that the country has what? Name, die ID, and this country code. So that country code, I'm going to be using it as a key, meaning that each component must be distinct to one another. So must be distinct from the other other options. So we're going to be using codes to do that. So it's going to be country dot code. So meaning we have used this. Then we are left with these two. So we have the name of the country. We are going to be passing that also. Let's say country name. Name is equals to country dot name. Then die code is equals to is going to be country dot die code, like we have it here. Don't forget the key must be the same. So we have the all of them in place. Then let's come in here. We are going to be destructuring all that we have sent. The first one is the name of the country, which you will use the name. Don't forget it's the key that you're going to this particular one, not the value. Okay, so you can leave this one. This one is fine. Okay, then we have the name, then followed by die code, comma. So this is what we're going to be supplying. Instead of putting SPA, we're going to be supplying its name. Then here, instead of putting DOM data, we're going to supplying it with the original data, which is die code. So let's go back and see our code working. We have an error. Let's see where the error is coming for. It says cannot access countries 2 before initialization. What? Number what? Okay, line 9. App 9. High 9. The line 9. Number 9. This place. Okay, so it's tautology. So let's just change the name. Let's change the name from countries to items. So let's change this one to items. Then inside this place, let's change it to items. I think it's even better as it comes up so that you learn. So we have item. Now let's go back and see. Can you now see no error again? No such error. Let me refresh. No such error. Now we have our country listed here. So if I click on this, it closes it. If I open it, it opens it. And if I want to select, you see, you scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll to the state or country of your choice. I will give you, your assignment is that you should implement the search. Instead of us scrolling down, you can equally implement search bar. Okay, so before then, I want to do something. I want to make sure that the thing is not changing the value. Let me see, the size is not changing. Let me check the size that we have here. Let me inspect, so that we're going to be using that size. So the size is style width. Okay, the width of that is 2. Okay, I can get it from here too. All right, is 2 what? Let's say around the 400. So let me change it to 400. So I'm going to give it 400. 400, please. Let me give select. Is it select of drop down? Width 400 pixel. Good. 400 pixel. 100% of the parent. Then this one, now we can remove the width from these two. Flex 1. Good. I think it's good now. It's okay. All right, here we go. Congratulations. You can now see it working. You can scroll down, scroll. Don't forget your assignment. Assignment is, you can turn this from ordinary div to input field, that you can type name and it will search for it wherever you have it. Okay, so can you see it now? You can scroll down, select this, scroll down, select whatsoever country you feel like. That's Nigeria, my country. So let me select. Can you see? So congratulations. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Watch out for another tutorial that I'm going to be